Check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 and 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 2. We're in the building right now, ladies and gentlemen.
Check 1 2 and 2. You are now in the building with Coach K, and this is the Hustler's Journal podcast.
Listen up, boy, I be a coach, teaching how to think different with a new approach. I hope you're taking notes. Haters think it's jokes, they got me fired up, but they don't want the smoke. Life only grows in knowledge, they don't get the logic. It's the road less traveled that I got my mileage. I don't care for comments, show me your hustle. I'm only here to build your physical and mental muscle. There's some things you must do, better listen in. It's the Hustler's Journal, I'll show you how to win. I learned from the greats, plus my own takes. I'm the one people come to for losing weight. See, I aspire to inspire while you perspire. That's my empire. There's no time to quit. Don't care how you're feeling. You better stand up when Coach K is in the building.
Mic check 1 2 and 2, ladies and gentlemen. You're now in the building with your boy Coach K, and this is the Hustler's Journal special episode again. You know why? Because the guy on my screen right now is an up and coming personal trainer out of Montreal. We're trying to get our city hype, guys. We're trying to get people to know there's a lot of energy coming out of Montreal right now, and he's one of the guys that's bringing that energy, bringing the funk. And because COVID kind of has us locked down, he's had to make some modifications, adjustments to his whole game plan, just as we all have been doing. So I want to give you guys a chance to get to know a little bit better my guy, Doug Segal, aka Coach Dougie, in the building. Coach Doug, what's up?
What's going on, man? How are you? Thanks for having me here.
Coach Doug right now, you guys don't know, he's on a little bit of a lockdown, COVID. He's good, he's healthy. But
I'm
just
healthy.
You know, being exposure, a little bit of contact that way kind of thing. But he's gonna break that down and explain to it a little bit how that all went down as well. But first things first, unofficially we are sponsored by Lunam Organics Canada. Okay, it's a wide range of organic products, including agave inulin, amaranth, black chia, cacao nibs, magic powder, golden berries, and more. So if you want some information or wanted to place your order, email info@organize.ca. So it's ORGANYS.ca to place your order today. Okay, I'm always going to be shouting out small businesses because small businesses need our help. So any way that we can encourage one another and build each other up, especially out here in the Montreal area, guys, we're trying to grow some magic out here, guys. So if we can do that for each other, definitely what I'm going to be doing here. All right, Dougie, my guy, the man, the myth, the legend. Listen, before we start, before I get you to talk, gotta give you your flowers because I've been doing this with everybody. Okay,
flowers. You're gonna give me flowers.
Let me tell you something, man. I've watched your transition, maturity, growing. Just the things that you've been doing, man. I think it's awesome. It's phenomenal. I think it's very motivational, inspiring. It's very encouraging to myself, especially as a trainer as well. You know, us operating on the same level of things. I think it's awesome that a person like yourself, who I'm pretty sure has had to overcome a number of adversities and challenges and stuff, is able to make things work. A lot of people tend to crumble after a while, but you've been able to make things happen. And I can say I definitely appreciate the energy that you bring every time. You know, when you have your quotes, your wise word quotes. This guy has some pretty good, some things that he drops, some gems. He tags me in, and I go, okay, all right, I see you, Doug. You know, obviously I have to reshare his stuff because that's what we're about, sharing that energy, sharing that positive vibe as much as we can. And definitely you're bringing that every day. So I appreciate that very much. I see your clients really making progress. They're really growing and they're enjoying the change of environment, change of scenery. Definitely you're making things happen. And you definitely have shown that you are committed to adapting and adjusting your whole scenario. So, and you're making things work. And I got to give you a congratulations because my guy, Coach Dougie, just got married. Congratulations. I see you flashing the ring. This guy subtly put the ring on this and he's like, you know, I'm just here. he let the ring show in the thing like this. You know, I'm saying I'm just out here.
Yeah.
Congratulations to you and Jill. It's awesome, man.
We got married and we bought a house and all through COVID.
All through COVID, man. Guys are making things happen. That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, so give me a little bit of background about how you started. Not many people know how you began. I mean, simple titles: you're strength conditioning coach. You do cupping therapy, which we'll talk about a bit as well. But like, how did you get started in this whole fitness business?
Basically, what happened was I went to school originally for policing.
Okay.
And originally, I got hired by the RCMP, which a lot of people don't really know about. I don't really talk about it. Unfortunately, when I did get hired, I found out that my hearing in my right ear was at minimal working capacity. I think basically about 15% I can hear out of it.
Wow, okay.
So right there, I found out as I out of the seeing, hearing, the testing after the the psych part and everything, then I find out. So couldn't go through with that. So fortunately, I had the opportunity to go back to school. So I ended up going back to university, University of Western, so London. At the time, that what I was taking was athletic therapy. It turned into kinesiology. So I graduated with athletic therapy, exercise science. After I graduated, I came back to Montreal. I did a stage in Kinetex. I worked at Kinetex for a bit. So I did like the whole clinical side of it, like with a lot of therapy. And actually, you brought up cupping. I was cupping back then. I was cupping way back in 2011.
Okay.
Yeah. I've been doing it forever. When we worked at the loft, I was doing it in the rooms there too.
Right.
I don't advertise. I don't know. I didn't really need to advertise.
You didn't promote it that much. Guys, when he talks about cuffing, he's not saying cuffing. He's not saying cuffing. Cuffing is a whole different thing.
No, cupping
is a whole different sequence.
Myofascia decompression.
There you go. Where you got to use cups, and it's like
basically
suction work.
We'll get into that. We'll get into
detail about that. You guys will know about that. My guy Coach Dougie for some cupping. You know what time it is.
So back then I was doing the whole clinical thing, and I liked it. And then I actually sat down with John's Chamber, who I ended up working out at his gym and working with him for a little bit.
Okay.
And learning under him and learned the whole all with working with athletes and whatnot. After that, I always had a couple of clients, but I wasn't busy where now it's all day, figuring it out. But so
we first met. You were at that place on Pierrefonds and Sources.
Oh wow!
I believe I met you there.
Man, so when you and I,
that was but you were at the old. It was like the first location. It was
yeah. Okay, so that was mine.
Randy
and me. We were business partners.
Yeah. I think I met you there one time because he told me to come one time. So.
Yeah, so that's where Randy and we went into business together. We opened up this gym called Functional Training Center, FTC. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. We had two different visions. It didn't work out. We just had two different visions, and it didn't. We had to part ways.
For sure. And sometimes those things happen. Yeah, for sure. Those things happen sometimes.
Of course, you gotta learn from everything that happens in life. It's a free lesson.
Right.
It's a free lesson. You make a mistake, you're not gonna make that mistake. Just learn from it. Play the cards you're dealt with.
For sure.
I went from FTC. Well, we'll start with when I came back to the West Island. So I opened up FTC. That didn't work out. And from FTC, I stayed there for a bit, and then I just said, you know what? I just don't want to be in a building where I used to own, working for someone else. It just didn't go with me. Right. So then I moved to inside Monster Gym at Luzine CrossFit. I went there for about a year and a half. Then I came to the Loft with you. I worked there for a year. Man, I jump around a lot. And
gotta find what fits, man. It's all good.
From there, I left and I worked inside the Broccolini building on the Trans Canada.
Right.
Rented space out of there for a year, and I wasn't feeling it. My clients were not having it, so I said, okay, I got to make a change quick. And then I went to bar training with Kevin, and definitely hands down best place I've been. And then good old OV hit, and then we all got all got in lockdown, and from that I just started working out of the garage once we were allowed to work again, as my clients are not comfortable and still not comfortable going to the gym.
Right.
So I'm just working out of my in-laws' garage until my house is ready. But right now it's looking like the garage until my clients are fully comfortable. I can't just go back to the gym when they're not going to follow. So I got to listen to them.
For sure. And I mean, if you're making it work where you are and you're still staying busy, then hey, what's the point of
man, I was busier than ever up until as soon as the lockdown lifted, as soon as we were allowed to work again, legally, us, a lot of work.
Yeah.
Thankfully, as of June 1st, I was allowed to work because I was like athletic therapist, so I was able to work. But once the gyms opened, I'd say, dude, I'm so busy. I'm doing like 18 to 26 sessions a day.
How do you have to, like, I guess you have to stay in the house with your family and just.
So basically, what's the date today? I'll go by date because
October 2nd.
So October 2nd. So on
Okay.
September 26th. Yeah, because it's 13 days. So September 26th, my brother-in-law comes home from a round of golf saying he's not feeling well. So I'm sitting at the kitchen. What do you mean you're not feeling well? I'm just tired. Oh, shoot. Okay. So he goes upstairs, he goes to sleep, wakes up the next day on the Sunday. I'm going to go get tested. I have a sore throat and I have a fever.
Oh, boy.
I was like, oh, boy. And the reason why I'm at my in-laws is because my wife and I, we bought a house and it's getting renovated. So we're living here for now. So one brother-in-law goes and the other brother-in-law is like, yeah, I'm not feeling well, wakes up with fever. Third, my father-in-law. So I'm like, oh my God. My mother-in-law comes into the garage, says we're all going to get tested. Tuesday morning, she tells me, we're going to get tested. I go, 9:30. My client is supposed to be in the garage already, but she was late 5 minutes. I swear, 9:30 a.m. She walks in, she opens the door, she gives me a look. I look at her and I'm like, what's up? She goes, Jacob tested positive. Right? She's like, you have to cancel your day. My client is walking up the driveway and I just like look at her and I go, and she's a paramedic. So I was like, all right, well, I'm like, listen, I'm like, my mother-in-law said I can train you, but my brother-in-law, just one of them tested positive. She goes, yeah, I know. I'm like, all right, okay, sorry. So she leaves. So I get my results within 24 hours, which is absolutely incredible. So, long story short, my two brother-in-laws and my father-in-law all tested positive. Then my other brother-in-law, my wife, and my mother-in-law, we all tested negative.
Okay.
So since we live under the same roof and we are isolating and they have tested positive, we have to isolate for 14 days unless we have symptoms. If we have symptoms, we got to go back, get tested, and then we have to re-isolate. So I'm trying to stay as healthy as I can in the basement. I'm wearing a mask if I go to the kitchen. So it's basically my wife and I just, we're manning the kitchen. We're paper plates. We're like bringing the meals up. It's such a mess, but we're managing. It's I guess it's a good test of our age. Right at the beginning, right in there. So we have exactly next Sunday, October 11th is our last day of isolation.
Okay.
I am hoping, I'm praying that we have no symptoms. I'm gonna go get retested on Thursday anyway, just to make sure I'm healthy. But I already booked all my week of the 12th, so I'm hoping that I can just start work again. But
yeah, well, I mean, we're definitely hoping that things work out and you don't end up being getting any symptoms.
Oh, if I have to re-isolate, I'm gonna run away. I'm running away. So, and for anybody who knows me, I can't even sit still for 5 minutes. How am I gonna sit in a
Well, I see you sitting. You're talking, and you're like, I'm just kind of.
I'm very fidgety. But I'm so listen, man. Like I always say, you gotta this is gonna be the next quote. Maybe someone's gonna take it or not. But you gotta play the cards you're dealt with.
Right.
I take this time for me, and now I'm doing a ton of research on just different types of workouts for golfers right now.
Right.
I'm getting into it. Man, it's great. Like as much as it does suck to be isolated, you guys just turn it into a big positive and just take all that time for you.
Yeah, just make the most of it and make the best of it for sure. That's awesome. Yeah, and that's a good lesson to let other people know about, is that through adverse situations or through a lot of obstacles, there are a lot of opportunities for different things to grow from there. Speaking of obstacles, which is has turned into an opportunity, obviously with the situation with your garage,
Yeah.
but also to being married. Talk about that. You got married during this whole pandemic. How did that work out?
So basically, we were supposed to have a 300-person wedding back in June of this year.
Yeah.
COVID hits. Unfortunately,
your dogs are going crazy right now.
So back in March, we were sitting at the table, and we're like, "What are we doing?" So we waited it out a little bit. We're like, "We'll see what happens." April hits. April 1st. She goes, "I think we need to postpone our wedding." I'm like, all right, cool. Let's postpone it to October. She goes, "Okay, let's do it." Cool. So we, I'll be honest with you, I did absolutely nothing. Like buying this house, doing this wedding, I was just like, okay, yeah, sure. Renovations too. I'm like, yeah, okay, no problem. I just wanted over. So anyway, so we go postpone till October this year, and COVID's getting worse and worse and worse and worse. The cases are going up. People are, unfortunately passing away. People are getting sick, and we're just like,
right.
This is ridiculous. So she goes, "What do you think about postponing it to next year?" I'm like, all right, 2021, let's do it March 2021. It's April, May, June, July, it's August, mid-August now, like August 18th, August 20th. We're eating dinner as a family, I just blurred out, I'm like, okay, I don't want to wait to get married. Let's just do it. I'm like, there's going to be some type of second lockdown. And everyone's like, no, there won't be. We can't do it. I'm like, I'm telling you, something's going to happen again. I have a feeling. And, and I get these weird feelings, and I'm always right. It was like, I said Tom Brady was going to Florida, and he went to Florida. Anyways, that's another story. But I said to my wife, my fiance then, and my mother-in-law, I'm like, we got to do something. I said, so my mother-in-law, I swear to God, she's a superhero. I don't know how she does or what she does, but she goes, "You guys want to get married?" And I go, "Jill, 300-person wedding. We cut it down to maybe 120, 150. So they're like, she goes, "We can't even have that many." Then they announced it 250 people. She goes, "Okay, we can have a wedding." So we had to switch venues. We had to get the photographer, the rabbi. Our rabbi wouldn't have married us, so we had to find a new rabbi. It was like, it was obstacle after obstacle after obstacle.
Wow.
And August 20th, 21st, we like finalized our wedding August 31st to September 13th of which just passed. So we were, and from 300 people went down to 80, and it was absolutely unreal.
Wow.
It was
amazing.
Close found.
Yeah. It was, from what I saw, it looked great.
Dude, it was my mother-in-law and my wife. As much as my mother wanted to be a part of it, I just told my mom, I'm like, just take a back seat right now, because the car's too fast for you right now. My mother-in-law was going like 200 miles an hour, calling, boom, 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 and pulled it off, man. And the only problem we had was the day of, the limos didn't show, but like Jill was like, whatever, I don't care. So we hopped in the car with our photographer and got it done. And as I look back on it now, I wouldn't do it any other way.
Yeah, wow.
You know what? Like small, it was so intimate. It was so nice. It was like, I was able to like name everybody's first and last name that was at our wedding.
Right.
I had a relationship. The best thing is because like these big weddings, you don't have a relationship with everybody. Every single person at my wedding, I had a relationship. They were in my phone.
Nice.
Even my in-laws' friends, and I have a relationship with them because I golf with a couple of them, and I speak to all of them.
Right.
And I've trained a bunch of them. I have a relationship with them. So that was like,
it changed everything.
That was, it was unreal. It was as soon as like it was wedding day, as soon as like Jill walked down the aisle, I could feel the stress that just lifted off everyone's shoulders.
Nice, man. Did you cry?
Yeah. Did I cry? I'll send you the video. Did I cry? It was like Niagara Falls coming out of me, man.
Hey man, listen. When I got married to my wife, I was like, all right, I'm good.
Yeah, right.
And my friend hits me, he gives me a dap, and he goes, all you, bro. And I was like, why did you do this?
PKO.
I saw her coming, and everyone turned to look at her. And my sister looked at me, and I just stood there, and I was just like, one tear at a time. And then one of her bridesmaids, she had tissue in her bra, and she handed it to me. I was like,
but as soon as she got like right to you, you were fine though.
I was still like, whoa, this is happening. You know what I mean? But it does change everything. Yeah, for sure.
It's like, were you crying because everything that was yours is now hers, or were you crying because you actually loved her?
No, you know what it is? I was actually thinking about like it's almost like my life was like going like childhood, adulthood. I met her. All these things running through my head, and it just really made me feel like, wow, it's Sal having one shot. It was quite the experience. But I mean, you know, no one really knows what it's like until it's them, right?
Well, I was trying to just think of like the scores in the Sunday football games, and I was like,
whatever it is, that can distract you. That's awesome, bro. Well, congratulations again to you guys.
Thank you, man.
That's amazing right there.
Thanks, man.
So obviously you have some changes still coming. Again, you work through some obstacles. What else has this scenario that has obviously affected everybody in so many ways? You talked about people dying, people getting sick, your own family members getting sick. You know,
this was during COVID. This was during COVID. Like during March, April, May, my dad was severely sick in the hospital.
Wow.
Yeah, I know you mentioned something to me, told me about that. A lot of my friends' parents, one of my clients' fathers just passed away, like suddenly because of this. It's you know, it's so scary because what I realized was like I wasn't scared of this virus, like by any means. I wasn't scared, but I was living like, you know, I was keeping my head up, as we say in hockey, your head up. I was keeping my head up.
Right.
It's now that I'm living in a house with 3 people that have it, I'm just like, you realize, like, I went to like give them, like, I'm making dinner tonight, and it's like I have to give them the food. It's like, all right, well, I'm leaving the food on the top of the stairs, and you're coming to get it because I'm not. You know.
Yeah, it's quite the adjustment. I mean, the hospital, well, the CHSLD that my father-in-law was in, it was quite the change in like a matter of days, you know, and you know, unfortunately he passed away. But I mean, a lot of people had a more difficult scenario. I mean, it teaches you a lot. So what did this situation, what did it teach you about yourself? Like, what did you learn about you?
I was always like preaching gratitude and being thankful for things, but I learned that being healthy and being pain-free is the best possible thing that you can have. Being grateful for like the small things in life, being able to like go out, have a drink with your friends in a restaurant and not have to worry. I was like reminiscing like times like where you would just like go out, shake someone's hand, say what's up. Like we weren't really thankful for that. We weren't grateful for that because we never even thought of it. But like now, think about it. It's like, you know, you don't go out and shake people's hands anymore. You know, you came here for the CPR course. Yeah. Like, we didn't shake hands. We didn't like give props. We didn't do anything, man.
It's odd. It's an awkward.
It's so awkward. It's also what I learned about myself is that one thing that I learned was I guess I learned that family is just you know, like family doesn't have to be blood. I guess, like, I don't know. I get what you're saying. Yeah, I get what you're saying. It's funny that you're like, it's funny you're like, oh man, I want to say hustler because sounds kind of bad. I'm like, well, the podcast is a hustler's journal, so it does kind of go together. I just realized how much of a hustler I actually was, and how hard of a worker I am, and like, man, I just did a ton of courses online. I figured it out. I said, what the heck? I'm like, dude, our income is not guaranteed. We're not guaranteed a penny tomorrow. We're not guaranteed. We don't got health benefits. We don't have a retirement fund. We work for our retirement. Like, I'm working to put away for my retirement. That's why I work. I don't work to pay my mortgage. I work so I can retire, or I work so I can invest money later down the line. So what I learned was have a backup plan. That's what I learned. I sat down and I said,
that's a big lesson.
I sat down with Jill. I'm like, what am I going to do? She goes, I don't know. What do you think? I said, dude, created a LinkedIn account, message people, you know, like I didn't want to say I had self-doubt in my career, because I knew that once things get like started again, clients are coming in and out, boom, boom, boom. But at that time when you're sitting there and you're like, you know, sitting in front of a computer doing Zoom sessions, you don't want to do that.
Something that you mentioned about, you know, when things kind of get back to normal. See, the thing about it is that one thing I just observed is that a lot of people, like you said, don't have a backup plan. They don't think we'll ever be in a situation like what we've been in, because everybody just goes. It's like, okay, new day starts, boom. Next day starts, boom. No one ever thinks, wait a minute, we could actually be on pause. And that's the thing that really opens your eyes when it comes to, you know, how we are living, is that you realize you can't live every day as though, okay, tomorrow's just going to happen like this. You wake up and you talk about gratitude. You wake up now and you go, I'm actually grateful that I made it to today. It changes your whole perspective, right? Because now you go, okay, so I have, I don't know, 18 hours, whatever, to figure out what I'm going to do today so that I can go to sleep and wake up tomorrow.
I lived in the moment in the past. Like when I guess I could say I lived in the moment, when it's an immature way of thinking, of living in the moment, you know, because before, I think I really only matured in the last year. I'm going to be like very honest with you. When I proposed to Jill and she said yes, I think like my life just took like a 180 and said, holy cow, now you have to provide for another person. So we've had this talk before. Like many times we've had this talk. She's had to like drill me in the head with it, saying, you know, decisions that you're making will affect me. And I'm just like, do you care if I go out and I spend like $500 or $1,000? Like, it's not your money. Like, what do you? She does, and I realize, I'm like, holy cow, that's like, I'm like, I got a mortgage I got to pay. We have, you know, insurance, taxes. Like, it's crazy. Like, you own a home, it's like, wow. But in the last year, man, it's so much maturity came through. I was living in the moment back, like, for the last, since I ever can remember. And then I realized, like, holy cow. Then we bought a house, and I was like, wow. So now it's just like, before I do something, you know, I talk to her before I do a lot of things now. You know, I'm big into golf, and I told her, I said, you know, I'm not playing ice hockey this winter, and I said to her, I said, it's very important to me that, like, I have to be active and I have to do something that makes me happy, you know. And I said, like, I played golf when I was younger, but like, it was like you going to the park and shooting hoops, or you going to the park and shooting hoops, like, wasn't a thing. But like this year was just like, I said before COVID even said, like last winter, I said, I'm getting back into golf and I'm gonna take it seriously again.
Right.
And I've just been playing so much, and you know, she's giving me a little bit of
that's a little elbow, like, hey, what are you doing?
Yeah, like, you know, you're playing a lot. Yeah, but you know, I had to realize, you know, I set aside a budget for it. I haven't even gone near that budget, and it's just like, you know, small little things. You know, if I go out and and buy something for for golf, you know, that could have been like, you know, our internet bill or something. It's like things I don't think of, and now that she like got through to me, like, I think about all that now. And before I do something, I just like, I kind of like tell her, been like, just letting you know that like, we're good, like, don't worry. But I wouldn't trade it for the world.
No, like, man, it's one of the biggest lessons you learn is that when you have to now take care of somebody, the steps that you take and the things that you were used to doing are not going to be the same. Case
I
in
was living a
point.
bachelor. Yeah, I was living a bachelor life, man. I was living by myself. I had my own place. I paid my bills. Everything was good.
Yeah.
I was chilling, and then you get engaged, and then we buy a house, and then
Everything's different.
now we're doing renos, and that's just like,
Yeah, everything's different.
yeah.
I mean, look, when I first got married, well, actually, even after I got married, I'm looking right now at the amount of shoes I have in boxes and stuff. And I remember my dad saying to me, "You get married, you can't do that anymore. That's it, man. You're finished." And I was like, "Nah, man, whatever." And it made sense because like you said, even if you go and you get a deal and it's like, oh, this shoe was like 50% off or whatever, and it ends up being like 120, then 250.
You still ended up spending that 120 bucks.
120 bucks can go towards something else. Oh, you have to get groceries, you have to get this. So it makes you think. So I mean, now in year 11, I before I make a decision to do something, I make sure that, okay, I make sure everything else is taken care of, and if I have something left over that's like whatever money that I put aside, then I'll go, okay, I got it. Or I'll make sure that I'm able to cover it and then say, okay, I'm fine. But like before, it was like, whatever, I'll deal with this. But not realizing that maybe she needed it for something or whatever. So,
of course, and that's something that I have. That's the selfish part of it. And I'm growing into that. I want to have children. And I know once you have children, it's game over. It's like, you got it. Everything that you do, it goes to your family, it goes to your kids, it goes to your wife. You're the last on the list. And we agreed. We're like, we're not gonna have children, right now. We're not trying right now. But like in the near future, we set a date. We said, okay, on this day we're gonna start trying. And at least she said it. Her words that enjoy like the next few months, because like take it all in. Because as soon as once I got pregnant, I said, yeah, I know. I figured it's I'm just
boom. She's like, that's it, bro.
Yeah. When I proposed to Jill, a big thing was like, this woman makes me want to have a family. I couldn't imagine having a family with anyone else. I couldn't imagine doing the things. And man, it's just like I realized I'm ready to get married when I was able. First of all, like I'm good with myself. I'm happy with myself. I can love myself. But second, you have to love yourself before you can love someone else.
Right.
But when I was realizing I was able to put her first without like consciously knowing I was putting her first, you know what I mean? Like, pretty much just like putting her first no matter what. I was like, man, this is what marriage is. You're putting your person first, and they're putting you first, and you're working as a team, and it's like like Mario and Luigi. And I was like, it was like Kobe and Shaq, Jordan and Pippen. Like, that's the way I look at it. And I was like, wow. I'm like, she's Shaq and I'm Kobe. All right. So I was
why is she Shaq?
Because I'm the better ball player.
You're a jerk. Anyways, I'll make sure she is. I'm like, yo, guess what? He called you Shaq. She's like, what?
She's also taller than me. No, but then I realized that was like, okay, I'm ready to get married. So then I popped the question and said yes. And then fast forward a year later, we're married.
That's what it is. It's good. That's good, man. That's good. So, talking a bit about the industry that we're part of, if we're looking at something like trends, would you say that you're a person that follows trends that are out right now? Or are you kind of like
definitely not.
Mold? No, not really.
No. Yeah. Oh, dude, trends. I don't even know what's trending out there now. The keto diet is...
Even when it comes to just, transparency with clients, transparency with people. Because, I mean, a lot of people use social media to be very transparent about their background and what they're doing and stuff like that. And,
I think...
Would you say that you set your own type of mold, or are you one that...
I think any of my clients they'll tell you the same thing, what I tell them. If you want to lose weight, it's very easy. Just... like, man, I just don't believe in trends. I just say, like, I'm not one to give you a specific diet. If you want to lose weight, I look at what you eat, I look at your daily activity, and I say increase your daily activity, move more, eat less. That's all. If you're eating a large pizza at night, bring it down to a medium. Like, I'm not gonna not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna tell you, like, listen, who wants to diet? Who wants to really, like, you know, if you want to have abs, that's a whole different lifestyle, and you're not ready for it. So we're not even going there. You want to have abs, like, yeah, you got to diet. That's it. Like, your life is miserable.
Move in a certain direction.
That's what it is. But you want to lose 20 pounds and you're 100 pounds overweight. Very easy. And I tell everyone, like, move more. You know, instead of having burgers and pizza 6 nights a week, try to have it 2 times. But you're eating for lunch and you're having a sandwich. What kind of bread? White bread? Okay, use sprouted bread.
Yeah,
it's just small little adjustments.
Does that mean different?
You know, like,
so what would you say is your, like, method of operation? Like, not method of operation, but, like, would you say that your way of carrying out things, how your style of training, your style of delivery, like, who do you model it after, or do you model it after anyone else?
So that's a very good question. So what I try to do is, before I train someone, I like to sit down with them and I ask them. I have a list of questions I ask, and now if they don't answer them the way I like, I won't train them. I know it's crazy. It's crazy. A lot of people will say, "What? You're passing up?" Yes, I'm passing up clients, because the first thing I say to you when you message me, I say, "When are you available to sit down and talk?" If you're like, "Well, I'm really busy. I don't know." How are you going to make time to train? Right there. You know, I've been in this for quite a while, and I can see right through the bull crap. And I just say, you can't, if your answer is not like, well, I can come tomorrow, or like be like, okay, I'm free on Friday, or like just at least give me a time right away, then I can see you're committed.
Right.
So I look for that right away. And then I like to see, like, what your lifestyle is. If you like to, like, listen, we train at different demographics of people. So if you're training a 20-year-old and they need to lose, like, you know, 60 pounds, 70 pounds, and they like to go out and drink with their friends and smoke and eat crap, and listen, like, you going out and eating crap and drinking, you're not gonna make any progress. So I get an outlook of, like, their lifestyle, and then I just adapt to their lifestyle.
Right.
And I say, all right, you like going out. You're out Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, and you probably go out Sunday night because you don't have class Monday morning. Yeah. All right. So that's 4 nights that you're going out. Let's cut those 4 nights into 2 nights. Take 2 nights, go to a friend's house. Okay. What is your vice? I get what their vice is, and instead of doing it like 7 nights a week, I'm like, cut it down to 5 nights, like, just like baby steps.
Yeah.
And then they start seeing progress, and then they're like, you know what? I don't need to do this. And they start eliminating all the negatives, and they're like, rather than me telling them.
They do it automatically.
Some people need you to hold their hand through every single step, and that's what I have to do. Some people don't need you to hold their hand. You tell them, do this, do that, and they're like, okay. So it's everybody is different. This is why it's called personal training.
Yeah.
And everyone does a different workout. Everybody has something different. Everyone has, like, some issue with their body already, so I have to be ready for that. Listen, if you can't do a proper squat, I'm not going to give you the bar to do a squat with.
For sure.
If you can't do a deadlift with dumbbells or a broomstick, you think you're going to hold that bar? There's no chance. And you've seen me train clients before, and, like, I think you can say, like you didn't see many clients under that bar. You didn't see many clients, like,
no,
that's very true. I will.
Very true.
I'll teach you, but, like, you got to be able to do body weight movements, like the 7 movements of life properly, which is squat, lunge, bend, walk, squat, lunge, push, pull, squat, lunge, bend, gait, and did I say lunge? I said lunge. Squat. Lunge, squat, push, pull, bend, gait. 6. Sorry. Yeah. You got to do something properly. If you can't do something properly without a weight, I can't do it.
Yeah,
so,
it's really difficult to work with that.
Basically, my approach is, yeah.
What things are you happy to see now that are changing in the in our industry? Like, what things do you look at and you go, you know what? I like that this is happening right now. Is there anything at all you see? Or
there's one big thing, and I just started it today. I'm not gonna lie. It's like I don't even want to, like, advertise it on here, but you know D-Jim?
Yeah.
This guy's an absolute genius.
Yeah.
Absolute genius. This guy is hands down probably whoever he is. I don't know. I've never spoken to him.
Yeah.
guy's an absolute genius.
For sure. Doing this online
So
program.
that's what, yeah. So what I did today was I messaged 15 of my clients, and I said, created this Instagram page. It's going to be workouts. So I'll do live workouts. I'll do live while I'm in lockdown. Just try to build it up. Charge $5 a month, and I have 20 people.
These are the type of things that people have to understand about adapting, right? Is that we're all so used to everything being a certain way, and then when it changes, like, what do we do? People sit there twiddling their thumbs, like, oh, I don't know what to do. So, like you said with him, with DJ, I was like, oh, that's such a smart idea, you know. And anyone can take a concept like that and build it. I mean, he's obviously amazing with what he's been doing, like, phenomenal, right? But
wild.
I tend to look at persons like him, or look at what a person is doing and go, wow, okay, they made that work for them. Okay, cool. And not be down that I didn't get what they got. Because I'm like, listen, my objective is not to be that person. My objective is to be this person. It's to be me, but me 2.0 or 2.1 or 2.3, just so that there are more elements to something that we do. And I think that's something that's very important in any business, but definitely in fitness, that you have to learn to have not things that are put you in like 10 different directions, but something that weighs that all in the same area. It's just that you might, okay, go this route, okay, it's blocked, detour, go this way, detour, go this way, you know. And these are the detours that we're building to make that work. So I think that's awesome. That's phenomenal. You got yourself started with that. That's amazing. Make that work for you, man. That's good.
I always had like a little bit of an online platform, but I don't know. We'll try this out. I'll see if it does anything. If it doesn't do anything, it doesn't do anything. If it grows, it grows. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's not really like.
Listen, one thing I've learned: speak things into existence. It works.
Yeah.
So none of this. Oh, well, you know, we'll see what happens. Because if it happens, get out of here. Yeah. Then, it's gonna work. You say it's gonna work. You make it work. So what's next on the horizon for Doug? As far as like, I mean, everything's kind of getting back to normalcy. We don't know what's going forward now, because now everything is changing even more, or could be changing even more. What do you see or project yourself moving towards as far as the direction you're going to be taking to grow your business some more?
I'm going to be building a gym inside my garage. But the cool thing is that it's one thing to build your gym inside your garage.
Right.
The next thing is to park your car in the garage while you built your gym. So right now I'm researching squat racks, which I found a couple, different types of flooring, equipment, storage, how to do all this while my wife can still park her car inside the garage because she wants to park inside the garage.
Happy wife.
I got new clients, and then I had my existing clients, my roster. Man, every single one of my clients, man, absolutely unreal people right now.
It's good.
Unreal. No headaches. Great people. Don't complain. Hard worker. Good. What I like, positive attitudes.
Yeah. What are the top three traits of a good client for you that would say meshes well with your personality?
Top three traits: positive attitude.
Okay.
Hardworking. And when it comes to like paying up, like money, there is no like, oh, I forgot, or oh no, like as a business owner, getting paid on time is I think you can agree. A lot. Yeah, it's really good. And so a positive attitude, hardworking, paying on time, and always willing to learn. Like I love when a client asks me questions, like and like when they're like, yeah, I love it. Like, can you teach me this? Like, yeah, I can teach you this.
Do any of your clients ever ask you to teach them how to Dougie?
Yeah. Sure. I'm gonna put it on. What? Can you teach me how to Dougie? You know,
I figured if you're gonna teach them something that's gonna be lifelong, sustaining, worthwhile, right?
Yeah, definitely. Teach them how to dance. Teach them. You know what? And also, like, I teach my clients. I say, like, I train like a lot of young women, like ages like 20 to 30. And the best thing I can teach these girls is self-confidence. Like when I can see like the biggest reward is not someone losing 20 pounds. Is the fact is, like, when you meet them, you see their face, like they're just like, so they're not they're not happy. They don't love themselves. And then when you can turn someone to love themselves and for them to have self-confidence, and dude, that's like the biggest payday. Like,
big deal. Yeah.
Dude, it's unbelievable. That's why I love what I do. People are like, "You like what you do?" I love what I do. When I can give that gift to someone, saying like I'm working with 5 different individuals right now that have that problem. I'm like 6 weeks down the road, they're starting to become more confident, happy. I had one of their mothers call me and say, "The things you've done for my daughter, I can't thank you enough." And I'm just
wow, that's amazing.
Good, cool. Like that's, I just told her, I'm like you have nothing. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's so rewarding. That kind of stuff is rewarding. But like a lot of people think our jobs are just like, all right, 30-minute session's done. See you later. Bye. Like, you know how much my phone's going off right now from clients? Can I eat this? Can I do this? Friday night, yeah, do whatever you want. Like,
yeah.
The big problem that I have is separating my personal life and my business. Is I'm out for dinner with family and my phone's going off, and it's business, or I'm out with friends and it's like a client, and I'm always like going for that phone, and I have to learn that balance, and I'm still trying to learn that balance.
Right.
It's hard for me because you and I we're one man show. It's not. We don't have a secretary. We don't have someone answering.
Not easy.
Emails. We don't have someone answering text messages. And people want answers now because they're paying us good money to get them. And you get a new message from a new client on Instagram. Let me ask you. You see that notification? How fast are you to answer that? You're probably on it pretty darn quick because you know they can message 50 other trainers, and those 50 other trainers will get to that person just as quick and be able to say one thing that you couldn't get to quick enough.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you got to sell yourself within 2 seconds of someone wanting to train with you. And like, I'm not going to give my secret away for this podcast because I'm going to be selfish and I'm going to keep that secret with me. But I'll tell you, there's certain things you need to say to lock the people.
Talk briefly a little bit about your cupping, because I seen these pictures.
Man.
I've seen people's backs. I'm going, do I really want to have the suction cup on my back? It looks like it's pretty good. Same time, it looks kind of freaky. I don't know. You seem to be excited.
So basically, what it does is, so the best way I describe this is, let's say you have a massive knot in your back. So it releases, what it does, it lifts the fascia and separates all your muscle and fascia. It just separates it, lifts it up, separates it. And it goes from like knots into just releases.
Oh, wow.
So there's no pressing. Man, there's so many different ways of doing it. There's heat. I do suction. I do like the suction. I do the gliding. I don't touch the heat because, it's really good. Like if you have a stiff neck, a rotator cuff issue. My wife had a rotator cuff issue. I cuffed her yesterday, and I'm like, how do you feel? 2 days ago, she was today I feel really good.
It just sounds funny how you're saying it. And my wife had so I cupped
her. Dude, I
cupped her yesterday, and she's like, "Oh, she's okay." I'm like, "What
I have videos.
You have videos of you cupping this?
I have a video of a before and after with a client of a rotator cuff. His before and then his after. It's actually the range
crazy
in how he feels. Because when the pandemic hit, everyone knew I was a trainer. Everybody knew I was a trainer. And, a lot of people knew I'm an athletic therapist, but I needed to get that out there to think of another source of income. So my fiance, Jill, my fiance at the time, my wife, she says to me, she's like, just advertise that you do therapy. Just advertise it. I go, no, I don't want to. She goes, okay, you don't want to, but just think of how many people I advertised once, and all of a sudden it was like boom, 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 like DM. I was like, wow, okay. So I had 1 week I had 31 clients come for cupping. Yeah, it was insane. My in-laws were like, what's with all these people coming through the house in the basement? And I was just like, oh, I'm sorry. I had my massage bag here, and they're just like, what are you doing? I'm like, they're like, hey, they have to go through. into the basement and leave. I'm like, oh, okay, don't worry. So yeah, I was. My wife was like, "What are you doing?"
Well, that's what happens.
You told me to do this,
That's good. But look at that. You put something out there, and look at that. Things have changed.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. So
Finding different elements to work with. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's great. It's nice to change a pace as well from people and then just going in doing therapy for like an hour. It's like, okay, and then going back. It's nice.
That's awesome. Very good, man. Like I said, I'm happy to see that you're making things work for you. Obviously, we all had to adjust and adapt to different circumstances, but you've definitely put it in practice, put it in play, and made things work. And now you're looking forward to owning being in your new home, and
can't wait.
Continue with your garage stories and stuff like that, which I think is amazing. I think any way that we can still be able to assist our clients and help them out, despite the changes that we're going through right now. I mean, hopefully things don't change and where we really can't see anybody at all. I really hope that's not the case, but we got to just be prepared and stay on our toes in the event of something along the lines of that happening for sure. But again, you're shifting to online, you're doing different things on platforms, you're still making things work, which is good. So we just want to keep that energy up as best we can. So, I mean, it's been awesome just to talk to you and just to get more of a background about you and stuff, so people can learn how to find you. So I definitely want to make sure to plug your Instagram on here. It's coach.dougie, so COACH.DOUGIE. On Instagram, you can find him there if you have any cupping questions. If you want to get cupped, definitely he can cup you. He's got big enough hands to make that happen, and he has suction cups as well. Just kidding. I don't want Jill to come after you like, hey, what's that about? But definitely he's a very, very knowledgeable guy. He's definitely has a wealth of knowledge to share. And I believe you probably still have room in your schedule for more clientele, I'm assuming.
Always time for new people.
Always makes time. Even if it's during his sleep time, definitely he'll make time for you guys to make that happen. Just kidding.
Man, I got plenty of time.
You got plenty of time right now because he's on lockdown until October 11th. But we hope that you stay safe during that time, that you and your family stay safe and everyone recovers from that, definitely, because it's rough out there. So do you need to do that happen from there for sure? One last thing I'm going to ask you as a last type of quote. Okay, if you were to drop some sort of knowledge on people right now with one thing you'd like to share, what would it be?
Play the cards you're dealt with. Take everything, turn it into a positive, no matter how bad a decision. You can always make it better. You can always turn that frown upside down, baby. I'm serious. I may say people listening to this, if they have listened to this far, play the cards you're dealt with. Every decision in your life, everything that is a decision, no matter what that decision is, just remember that you chose where you only on you and nobody else. Meaning, if you decide to go left instead of something bad happens, that's not on anyone else. Someone tells you to do something and you do it, you chose to do it. You did that, not someone else. You listened to them.
Right.
But you made that decision. So every decision you make, there's a consequence. There's a reward. And you have to play that out, either if it's good or bad. And if it's bad, you got to figure it out. You got to turn it into a positive. Grind it out. Figure it out. Like, the best advice this is my advice. It's not best advice. It's advice. It's
good advice.
It's literally of like what I've had to live through, man. Play the cards you're dealt with.
That's awesome. Honestly, man. Well, that's great. Well, we appreciate you, Coach Doug. Doug Segal is his name. Big trainer out of West Island of Montreal, guys. So definitely, if you want some information regarding his sessions, his online stuff that he's going to be starting as well as cupping therapy, definitely you can hit him up for that. His Instagram handle will also be in the description of this also. So please, guys, make sure you check out other episodes of the Hustler's Journal. But for sure, make sure you check out this episode, like it, share it. And if you have any questions for Doug, please let me know, and I'll definitely pass it on to him. If you want to ask him directly, you can do that for sure. We're sharing this positive energy with all our fitness individuals out here in the city of Montreal, trying to get some energy out here, trying to get some gold. We definitely want to share that as much as we can. So we appreciate your time, my friend. And I hope you guys stay safe within your confines of your home. And hope everyone else stays safe out there as well. Make sure you stay well protected. Wear a mask if you go outside. Don't cough on anyone. And please, please, please do everything you can to stay as positive as possible, guys. It's the Hustler's Journal. It's Coach Doug. We out, guys. Peace out. Thank you.